Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jamie. So I got a question from Major Pointer 333 on YouTube, and the question is college still worth it? What are the economics of it? And also they asked about, a little bit about indoctrination, things like that. So I'm going to focus first on if college is still worth it. And the real big caveat at the beginning that I have to say is it depends for everybody. I'm just going to be talking averages, so it's kind of like what is the average person looking at when thinking about whether they should go to college or not. Obviously everyone's situation is different, and I'll talk about the different points that you might have to think about whether or not you want to go to college. So the first big thing to me that says whether or not you're going to be going to college is the financial aspect right now. If you look at the money, that is both the cost of going to school and the economics of your return on investment, you have to really put that together to see whether or not it's actually worth going to school. And for most people who are doing non-specific degrees, in other words, just more like liberal arts degrees and things like that, the economics are not very much in your favor. So if you're going to college, you really should be thinking about whether or not you're going for free, because right now I'd recommend that your focus should be on going for free if you're considering college, and where you can go for free, and past that, of course, your work ethic. Now, looking at individual people's kind of background and looking into whether they should go to college to begin with, I think your GPA in high school is usually a big indicator of whether or not you're ready to go to college. If you, for the most part, have a 3.0 or above, I think that's a good start to say that you are ready for college. And by 3.0, I mean unweighted. In other words, a B and beyond average. Why do I say that? Because it's a work ethic issue. I mean, there are, of course, going to be people who have tough life situations that maybe leads to poor GPAs. There are going to be people who have really bad teachers. It happens. You go to bad schools, understandable. But at the end of the day, for the average person, your GPA is kind of indicative of your work ethic. And if you didn't really have a good work ethic in high school, first off, that's not going to help you get your scholarships for going to school, going to school for free. And second off, people that haven't had that strong work ethic in high school, it's not going to translate any better in college. For most people, your GPA in high school is going to be higher than it will be in college, most likely, for the average person. That being said, if you have a 3.5 or above, then you're much more strongly looking at college. And again, the big thing is you have a good GPA, so that's kind of sets a tone for, do you have a good work ethic? And then after that, you should be asking yourself, is there a major that I can find that will be productive to my skills? And also, where can I go where I can get basically a free ride? It's just the economics of whether or not you're going to be able to afford to live after you go to school these days because of loan expenses and things like that. So if you have, for those who have a lower GPA, maybe 3.0 or less, you really should be considering if you really want to continue your education, which is perfectly fine too, a technical school or community college, local college, and use that as an opportunity to prove to yourself that you have a work ethic that you could really do well. If you had a 2.7 high school and weighted GPA, you need to be, if you really want to continue your education, which I'd kind of be wary of, I'd say you're probably better off getting work experience first, building up your resume that way so that when you get out you have a better chance of getting work. If you really still want to go to school, you have to commit to yourself that you're going to bust your butt. And after you do whatever local school that you're going to do, if you have a good enough GPA, like an honors level GPA, then you could consider transferring. But again, the economics of it are that chances are if you had a lower GPA, you probably should be considering getting work experience first, or doing something like a technical school for a specific profession. Obviously, those who have a higher end GPA, if you had a 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0, then you're in a better position to consider different types of schools, and I think it probably reflects better on your work ethic that you're going to actually work hard in college. Some people don't. Some people go and party away their first semester and throw it all away. But that being on the average, it's more indicative that you will take care of your 4-year degree. So all in all, it's really about finding your calling. And one of the ways to do that is taking the MBTI test. There's a website called similarminds.com that you can take it on. It's like MBTI, like Young but plus Enneagram. You take that, learn about yourself, figure out the areas that you'd like to study in, so you're not wasting your time in school, because it can be very expensive. So as a whole, summarizing everything, if you have a lower GPA in high school, 3.0 kind of below, you really should not be considering college. You really just need to be honest with yourself and say, I need to either get some work experience or take some time to mature, take some time to really get my focus in and appreciate, it's been never a hard work ethic. If you're in like the mid, 3.0 to 3.5, it's still kind of iffy. You should consider, you need to take some time to get some work skills. You need to go to a community college, bust your butt off, get a really good GPA, try to look for scholarships. You need to kind of figure that out. College, I think the 4-year degree track is really meant for people that had a hard work ethic to begin with at that point in their life. Some people, you just need to mature first. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with going to college at 20, 21, 22, 23 if that's what it takes to get motivated to do well, because at the end of the day, employers are looking at your GPA when you're just coming fresh out of school and you don't have work experience. That for a lot of people, you're better off just getting the work experience, getting out there after high school if your GPA wasn't that great, getting a job, and then taking that time to mature and get serious if you're going to actually pursue upper level education. So I hope that helps kind of flesh out what it is to think about when you're considering going to college or maybe going to tech school, or whether you should work. And I'll talk to y'all later.